Well, we're fortunate to be sitting here in the winner's circle. Thought we played really well for, I guess, 25, 27, 28 minutes of the game. And we let our offense sort of frustrate us. And against that type of team, the way that they shoot, do some things, they can get back in it quick. And thought that we gave them a lot of opportunities to do that. Not getting back, not being organized. We really struggled there for a good portion of the game in the second half. We were able to get to about the 5-minute mark, especially in the last 3 minutes. And, I was confident our guys were going to make some plays. Though we've been in that situation. We had great attitude, regardless of the circumstances of the game, which is what you like to see. And a couple of key plays by two freshmen. Trace able to finish underneath out of bounds. And then obviously Al makes a really good one more off of Trace's inside out. Armand, who was big all day, really, kind of showed his courage and just what he means to the team in terms of how he's sort of embraced his role this year. He's a terrific player. He's a great kid, good teammate. So happy for him. But for us, we obviously have a lot of work to do. We can keep getting better in a lot of areas. For a while there, we looked like a good team. For a while there, we didn't. But I think when you're in this type of environment on that neutral setting against a good team, with the crowd, you're starting to see game experience and real stuff. And we're fortunate to win. We'll take it, and we'll take this break right here, deep breath. Arkansas is clearly next up for us, and Simon Scott. That should be a great opponent, great night for us to be able to play before the Big Ten.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned the last 3 minutes there. That's the point you put Armand back in the game. Maybe a point in which you wouldn't normally have done that. Can you just talk about the level of confidence in that specific play to come in and put things together?
I'll give it. Your staff is everything to you during the game. Sometimes your feel is a little different. But Armand was playing really well all game. And sometimes you go with the older guys, or sometimes you go a little bit more experienced. But Armand played really well up to that point. We were struggling offensively. And he was the one guy that had made a few plays for us, and able to throw him right back in there. And it's not easy to do what he did. It's not easy to do that what he did. But to his credit, like I said, he's got a great attitude. So we pull for guys like him.
He hadn't made many threes before today. Had he made extra shooting recently, or you give him the green light, talk to him, say go ahead and let it fly?
Are you saying it's 14% from three?
I wasn't going to mention that.
I did. He did too. And he needed to stop walking around with his head down and acting like people didn't know who he was because he wasn't shooting the ball real well. He could shoot. And he just gotten off to a tough start. Sometimes that happens for all players, but in particular young players that can really steamroll him. He hasn't let it impact his attitude, and he hasn't let it impact his coachability. I think we finished the Nebraska game talking at length about confidence, and he works at it every day. And, when he shoots it, I think everybody on our team thinks he has a chance to make it. He's not the percentage that he is in terms of how he actually shoots the ball every day. But he stepped up with good confidence and mindset. Was really good, and he's encouraging to continue to do that for us because he's a smooth offensive player. He knows how to play, makes good decisions, and for him to be able to stick some shots for us finally was a big deal. We've been waiting on a couple of these guys to open it up from behind the line because they're pretty good shooters when they're open, especially on the inside-out ones that they get. So it was good for Armand. His percentage doesn't dictate the type of shooter that he is, and as most guys do, you get taken back by it. He originally, I think, was worried about it too much, and I think he stopped worrying about it. What's he going to do? Go to 12%? It's like stop worrying about it, and you're eventually going to get your percentage to climb up. Because you're good shooters. It's just hang in there.
Coach, I know in Wisconsin, when they face adversity, you were pretty upset. They kind of were hanging heads, but it seemed like their energy level never really slowed down today, even though it was trouble. And so we had to be happy with how they kept grinding and found a way to finish the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had to learn a hard lesson, and stick to itness and togetherness, and players grabbing each other by the jerseys and holding themselves accountable at different times in the game was needed. And that didn't happen that day. I think it's happened in the UConn game. It happened in the Nebraska game. Now it's happened here again, where we're finding different ways to cut it out, finding ways to get a key stop, make a key play. And different guys are doing it. It's not one trick pony, so to speak. Different guys making plays. So for us, though, we have good attitude right now, good leadership. You know, it's tough. You know, we have 11 guys, all are trying to get in the game and play more minutes. And when the game gets tight, you do some things. You know, sometimes minutes go down, but for the most part, we've been able to really hang tough and show no cracks in the armor in terms of team over individual. And that's probably our biggest challenge as a group as we return from Christmas. You know, outside distractions, and try to find a way to stay, you know, collectively, you know, in the moment, and find a way to finish the non-conference some way. You know, because when we get into conference play, you know, every game is going to be so hard.
You talked about the way Armand has embraced his role. In what ways has he developed or changed since you first got him?
Well, he's got to become a more vocal kid. I don't want to say a timid personality, but he's reserved, he's quiet on the court. I think he's a vibrant kid, so if he has the ability to show some of that vibrance on the floor a little bit more, you know, I think it would be infectious. We try to encourage him to do that. I think he's done that. He's gotten better defensively. You know, as a young player, you're out there sometimes and you're at the mercy of the other coaches trying to go at you. He's been able to answer the bell a few times defensively for us. But I just think he has a real calm, smooth approach offensively. He knows how to play the game. He makes solid, sound plays, and he's not afraid. And I think as he's gotten a little bit older, the bigger the lights of the game, the more, you know, he's been able to step up. Whether it was at Florida State, huge plays down the stretch of that one, or whether it was this one, or even finishing, you know, the other night. But you know, Armand's a really good player. He's going to continue to get even better as he gets older and bigger and stronger. The experience that he's getting right now as a freshman, you know, and Trace in particular, play a vital role for us. So, you know, those guys obviously, you know, have a lot of room to grow as they keep getting a little bit older. But I think Armand's greatest attribute is the type of person that he's just a terrific kid. He's just hard not to pull for, hard not to be around. There's no bad days with him. You got to get your dauber up every once in a while, and I think his body language, in terms of being a little bit down, sometimes comes through. He's not, you know, have that muscle behind him sometimes, and I think that's what we've just tried to continue to kind of force out a little bit. But all in all, couldn't be happier for him.
John Mooney finished with 10 rebounds for Joey Rock, rebounded again with 14. And how vital was Joey's presence?
Joey was terrific on the glass all game. You know, especially in the first half and second half, he gave us second chance opportunities. You know, we've said it all along how this team has to be successful is obviously drawing fouls and being able to win the battle on the glass. You know, we only turned it over 12 times. That's good. We were able to be plus 10 on the backboard. That's huge. You know, we didn't get smashed on the offensive glass. Too bad. I thought we were able to rebound the ball really well. It's one of the reasons that we've won a few games here in the last couple games. The free throw disparity tonight, indicates that, you know, obviously Notre Dame sort of won on that style. You know, they don't typically foul a whole lot, so it's hard. And when we struggle to score, sort of the MO is find a way to get to the foul line. That wasn't really happening tonight, getting to the foul line. So there's long droughts. We weren't able to chop it up and get a couple free throws here and there. Or, you get fouled and you're able to go 4 free throws in a row, or 2 flip. You know, we weren't able to consistently get to the line in that stretch where our offense wasn't functioning real well. Now, last 3 or 4 minutes, we were better. We were able to get the ball where we wanted to get to. We got clean looks. Some of them went down, some of them didn't. But Joe was big in his role in the game. I thought for the most part defensively he was also good, you know, covering ball screens and doing some things there.
You talked about kind of the difference between Wisconsin, where we didn't feel like guys were kind of pulling each other along in tough moments. How do you grow that? I mean, do you challenge guys, or is it just something that maybe this team has had to figure out, where go through it and kind of turn into a disaster a little bit on it once, but then that allows them to kind of understand?
I think after the Wisconsin game, you have to look each other sort of in the eye and explain. Certain guys are in different roles. Certain guys aren't the young guy anymore. That's Justin Smith and how important his role is with our team. Al Durham being an older player, Devontae, Duran. You know, at some level, the players have to own the team. And when things aren't going real well, typically that's when your alpha dogs and your leaders sort of step up and, you know, rally the troops. You don't even have to be in the game to have a great voice in the locker room or a huddle. And that was missing completely, 1 through 11 on that day. Since then, I think as you address it, some guys are now way more noticeable in terms of approaching. We're okay. Hang in there. There's a voice. You know, whatever it may be, move on to the next play. There's much more of that talk with our team, which is a big, big component to becoming a good team, is guys obviously being able to communicate and stick with one another through the good and bad. Yep. Merry Christmas, everybody.